NSA! It's Lynn. Oh my gosh, I had such an amazing time with you on Saturday in working with your chapter, and what an incredible chapter you have. And thank you for your wonderful, warm reception. And very excited to, I just wanted to give you a little bit of bonus content because, of course, of time. I wanted to just put things on its feet, get you, the concepts that we had about Speak Formula and the 3 C's, and put it on its feet into action. And then along the way, I was also wanting to share with you some 5 openings of ways to open your videos, and or it could be your speeches or anytime you're doing a presentation, that's going to make all the difference in connecting with your viewer or your audience. And so I'm going to offer those to you now. They're very simple. You may already know them, but we're going to talk through them. And that way you can get really present to it. And it can be a wonderful leaping off point for you when you go to create your content. So I want that to be of value to you. And I will also be giving you the Speak Formula video series. I'm going to give you actually a condensed version instead of each little nuggets of them, so that you can have that right away, because we're still finishing up the Speak Formula video series, but I want you to have it. Even though we covered that already, I'll just cover it in a little bit more detail so that you can dive even deeper with that, but that'll be in a separate video. Okay, let's launch into this. What are the 5 openings that you can create for your videos or your presentations that will hook in the viewer or the audience to want to stay and watch more and to keep their interest? And when you capture their attention and keep their interest, now you got the ball and you can run with it. And too often, folks will come in and they'll just keep spending the first opening 5 minutes talking about themselves or about thank you or whatever that might be, and the viewer's already clicked off and gone somewhere else. So you want that video right away to click in for what's in it for them. All right? And a way that's going to set up what the whole rest of what's coming is. So number 1, and there's some of these other ways leap off of number 1, but number 1 is a thought-provoking question, or a question that addresses maybe their problem or has them think. In fact, these all are related to that. So a thought-provoking question could be, have you ever found yourself trying so hard to figure out what your messaging is, and you've been spinning your wheels for years and you still don't have it? That's a thought-provoking question. It's kind of illustrating the problem somewhat, isn't it? Yes, me? Have you ever this? Have you ever that, right? Okay, that's a thought-provoking question. Now you can take that and maybe have it be sharing an interesting statistic. And that would be sharing it in the form of a question. So you could be, did you know that it has been found that 1 minute of video is the equivalent to 1 million words in text in being able to convert someone into a buyer? Now, by the way, I'm saying that actually is research by Forrester Research. To me, that just sounds kind of like to see how they did that research. That's kind of hard to believe. Here's another statistic. And a different example, actually. And this actually came out of the example I showed you with DW, that first gentleman I showed you from DW Star, from an NSA, where he was initially in front of that step and repeat. That's what they call that thing behind you with all the logos. So he was kind of just rambling on and on. And then we shifted over to his focused, laser, on target video. All right. So, and the way he opened up that video was, did you know that did you know that 40% of the top Fortune 100 companies that were around 10 years ago are no longer here? Right? So he's basically setting you up for, if you're not changing, you're going to be falling behind. Right? And then he did that funny thing, falling behind. So, but he asked that question that got you thinking and makes you want to pay attention and realize, oh boy, I better do something about it. So think about that for you in your area of expertise or your industry. What's a statistic that's alarming, that'll wake people up, that'll have them want to learn more, pay attention, what's coming? So you can do that with a statistic, right? Now this one, and I love this one. This is what I call the this or that opening. And that I relate it to when infomercials, back in the day of infomercials, they're still around, but infomercials knew back in the day they had 10 seconds to grab your attention, or you're clicking off to the other channels. These days it's 3 seconds, right? But so what they would do in their opening of the infomercials is they'd illustrate the problem. And by the way, you see this in your Facebook news feeds, all those sponsored ads, and they're showing someone trying to cut a tomato and, oh, the tomato's flying off. Then they get this handy dandy gadget and it's cheep, 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 very simple, right? So same thing in infomercial, they would show the woman, do you want to be working so hard for 30 minutes scrubbing your floors? And shit's in black and white. It's super over dramatic. She's scrubbing the floors and sweating, and it's not getting anywhere, and it's still dirty, and it takes her 30 minutes, Or, and then they show her just pushing a little broom. It's done in 30 seconds versus 30 minutes, and kind of done with ease, and she's singing and tra-la-la. So it's showing the contrast in infomercials. So one of my clients, actually, he's so inspiring. He was 77 years old at the time he came to me. Talk about spinning wheels. He'd been spinning his wheels for over 10 years trying to find his own brand or thing he'd put out there in the world. I would always see him at different seminars that I was speaking at or emceeing for. I'm like, there's that cool guy, but he wasn't getting anywhere with his own brand. So finally, he then hired me to help him to create what it was going to be, and we determined, let's make this about an ageless attitude, because he was the 77-year-old gentleman with this bon vivant, even though he was thinking, should it be healthy chocolate or should it be insurance, because they sell insurance too, but I'm writing this book on ageless attitude. And I was like, let them come in through there, and then they can find out the world of your insurance and your healthy chocolate and all that. But that entry point be about the ageless attitude. And so we kicked off his video, and I wish I could play it for you. I don't have it up ready to do so. But he would say, let's see, I'll make sure I get this right for you. At the end of your life, do you want to be like this? And then it cut away to a couch potato cartoon going, watching TV, like with the remote, like that. So at the end of your life, do you want to be like this or like this? And then it's him dancing, woo-hee-ha. And then he came back saying, I'm Arsen Marsubian. I'm 77 years young, and I've had 5 divorces. I've had bankruptcies. I've had whatever he said. But the one thing I've learned, and then he shares about what he's learned. But that intro captures your attention. It shows the problem and the solution in less than 10 seconds. So what way can you illustrate the problem and the solution in less than 10 seconds? You could even talk about it. For instance, you could even kind of do a mixture of all that we've talked about already and say, do you want to be spending the next 2 years the way you spent the last 2 years, spinning your wheels, trying to figure out your messaging? Does that sound like you? You work so hard, and someone says, what do you do? And you go, blah, and you don't know how to say it. And you're tired of feeling like you don't want to go to networking anymore because you don't even know how to say what it is that you do. So, right, I'm illustrating the problem. You can have fun with it. You could super illustrate it. I'm just doing this quickly for you. Or would it be great if you just knew how to say succinctly exactly what you do, that nails it, that as you say it, makes the listener want to know more? Bam, now you've set up the context for the rest of you to share if that's what you were talking about. But what is that for you? So think about that for you, okay? Now, another different way to open your video or your speech here is pattern interrupt with an entertaining start, okay? That captures people's attention. And also, even though it might be entertaining, and maybe that's not your style, then don't worry about that. Then don't do it that way. But if that could be your style, if you have an entertaining way that you start, like let's say you say, you know what, I'm tired of this thing, and you crash it on the floor. It's time we get a new way that we do XYZ. I'm playing with that. Or I've done a video before where I've been out of frame, let's say, and I'm going to go, oh, hey, how are you doing? Whatever, and just start talking that way. In fact, I did that for, I did that for IASB, the International Association of Speaker Bureaus, for a video I just was sending to them to be considered as one of their MCs. I kind of started that way, and it actually got me the gig. They said that no one had actually sent them a video specifically for them. Plus that already right off the bat started in a fun, entertaining way. So anyway, what's just a fun, entertaining way that you can pattern interrupt, disrupt, capture their attention. Okay. And another way of thinking of starting is, of course, imagine. Imagine. It's 2 years from now, and it's a whole new world of finance. You were smart. You had 2 years ago gotten involved in cryptocurrency, and now you are leveraging it. You're getting to travel around the world. You're getting to take vacations. You were smart, and you whatever. You get to paint a picture. So basically, you get to paint a picture for what's possible for them, whatever that is in your industry or whatever would make sense. But take them inside what's possible, and really paint that picture. Or you can even take them inside a story. When you say, imagine, you're 5 years old and you love the world and you're looking around. And by the way, I'm just making this up as I say this, right? I'm just making this up in the moment, but you're 5 years old, you love the world, you're looking around, and all of a sudden a bully comes up and out of nowhere hits you in your stomach. Well, how do you look at the world at that point? Well, that was me when I was 5 years old, and that shut me down and whatever. I mean, I'm just, you know so succinctly how you would articulate your message once you have that leaping off point. You know your stories. You know what you would share and say. So to review, it'd be asking a thought-provoking question, an interesting statistic, the this or that, illustrate the problem and the solution all within a short period of time there, an entertaining start that disrupts pattern interrupt, and or what we just covered here, imagine. And there's many other ways as well. But like we did with one of our NSA folks at the chapter, NSA Arizona, we realized he was talking about multitasking. We're like, how many of you here multitask? You can even just ask that question and then take a pulse of what's going on in the world. And if you were doing a video, you could say, I bet you multitask. Or if you multitask right now, as I'm sharing this video, I bet you're also answering texts and eating your breakfast. All right. So you can look at different ways that you can start your video that can be that kind of way. So I'm saying this really fast, but I just wanted to be able to share that with you as well, if that is of service to you. And definitely check that out. And just definitely look for the video of the Speak Formula video series. And that's coming to you in a separate link. And again, thank you so much. It was such a joy getting to be at your chapter, getting to connect with all of you. And I hope we stay in touch. And just know I'm here to be of support to you in whatever way that is. I love, love, love. I can see all the dots out there and be able to connect them and help you on your trajectory. So thank you so much. And here's to your success. Bye. Bye.